This video did not find you by chance. This is an exploration and an initiation into the art of living a magical life. This is the power of transformation, and it's going to shift you out of the stagnant pond into the river of life force energy and the ocean of your greatest potential. This is part two of the series, and we're going to be exploring one of the single most powerful things that you can do to transform your own life. That is integration of the missing parts.
We need more understanding of human nature because the only real danger that exists is man himself.
Just because you go into knowingness doesn't mean you will suddenly know everything there is to know about a particular thing.
And since you're all here and engaged in this sort of inquiry and listening to this sort of lecture, I assume that you're all on the process of waking up.
If you were to live the magic life, to be a master programmer of the data of your own life, you must repair your source codes, codes that were damaged in the process of life. Through the process of severance, when you were young, you left parts of yourself behind to replace with expectations that were placed on you by other people. While we all go through this adaptive behavior, and it gears you towards blending in better and causing less tension in your living situation, it ultimately leaves you powerless and inert. It is not until we are whole and complete can we do anything of actual significance worthy of our own capabilities. The greatest tool in your arsenal is meditation. What actually is meditation? A lot of people treat it like it's an exercise, like you're going to the gym and working on your arms, or like a job where you allocate some time, you get it done, and then you move on to the next thing. How we treat this practice is much like how we view and treat ourselves. The significance of meditation is stark in its contrast to the rest of your day. It's as fundamental as breathing, as eating, as sleeping. This is you sitting with you, without any distractions or tasks or ambitions or goals or needs. It's just you. But what are you? Who are you? Are you the thoughts whizzing around in your head? Are you the impulses that you're feeling? Are you the emotions that are swelling up inside of you? Or are you the observer? A single point of attention sitting in the void of things, sharing stories with itself. The only way to find out is to close your eyes, breathe deeply, and allow yourself not to speak, but to listen. And listen well. Listen deeper than you have ever listened to anything before. Because inside of you is the very message, the very gift that you have been seeking your entire life but can never find. The reason that you feel incomplete is because you haven't found this. This is you, your authentic self. Inside of you, you'll find a great many things common for all people. You'll find the inner mother. You'll find the inner father. You'll find the inner child. If you go layers deeper, you'll find the inner tribe. And if you go even deeper still, you'll find the entirety of humanity and its history. And if you go deeper than that, you'll find God. In you, all things come into being in this world. Experienced only and through you are all things possible. But you are not your ego. You are God itself. So go and find this out for yourself. You'll find it to be true. If you have, and you've come to find this, you'll come back to play with the ego self. The I am, the me, the separate self. The Mr. or Mrs. I am incomplete, so I must seek. The Mr. or Mrs. I need the world to give me everything I lack within to satisfy my desires and passions. This is the game. And it's a fun game, but it's also potentially horrific. So free will is no joke. It is something that bonds all of us together. We're all equally vulnerable, no matter what position you have in life. In truth, very few, if any, actually know who we are, why we do the things that we do, or where we are going in life. We are inert. idle, impotent in our lacks and our confusion. But this is going to transform into something else as you live the magic life. Because as you walk this path, you're finding out more and more who you actually are and what your purpose is. Recognizing what the game is first will make life become very clear. So notably, while walking this path, you will discover things about yourself that you have forgotten, things that you have denied, things that you have rejected, things that you have cast aside and tried to suppress. In your meditations, they will reveal themselves and they will come to you demanding, accept me, validate me. And what do you do then? There is no great return of the complete self without experiencing the emotional charge that led to the rejection of its parts. But if you allow yourself to feel that pain once again, and you will, and allow yourself to return another shard of power by accepting what it's been shown to you and saying, actually, this is authentic. This is a part of me, even if I judge it, even if I don't like it. It's still a part of me and I accept it. You will experience a great deal of emotional discomfort in this process. That's good. That means that you are connecting. It's a strong signal. You're reconnecting parts of yourself that you have lost. You'll find that it's not all negative. There's a lot of very good things inside. And I'll paint you a picture so I can give an example of something very positive that you may have rejected in yourself and why it may have happened. So picture this, a young boy, only 7 years old, was scolded for being loud, excited, hyperactively dancing in the living room. This energy is very common for children as they're very enmeshed in the excitement of the moment of life. And they're in the midst of celebrating that joy. His parents, fatigued and weary, could not meet him on that level. And in his purity of what he was expressing, it reminded them of what they were lacking on an instinctive level. And so what came up was anger. So they yelled at him, "Stop being silly. Be quiet. Go to your room. Drop that or you break something." Now, to a child, this is a big shock. Their excitement and joy is being replaced with fear. That fear is instinctual. They know full well that they cannot feed themselves. They know that they are vulnerable to the world around them. They need their parents and they need the protection they provide. Their actions in that moment, the joy, the excitement, the expression, and the dance is now a threat to his own survival because he could be cast out. In that moment, all time stops and a great severance event occurs. The child suppresses and rejects this excitement. The joy, the abundance of energy pushes deep down out of reach because it's now a threat. And so it doesn't surface again. But if it does, and the scolding happens, it suppresses even deeper. It makes sure that that energy is no longer available. And when they think of themselves, they identify themselves, they don't identify with that energy. And if he tries to, it will feel painful. This is you. This is something that's happened to you on some level, in some way. Will you allow yourself to remember this? To let yourself reconnect to parts of yourself that you suppressed many years ago? Do you feel it? Is there a background urge that you have to express yourself but you never can? Do you have this instinct to keep your head down low, to diminish yourself, to keep quiet, to blend in? Then you may have gone through this process yourself. This and many other instincts and states of being we suppress without even realizing we've done it. But the more of that you pull up into yourself and reconnect with, the more powerful you become. We should all be able to celebrate life. We should be able to sing. We should be able to dance. We should be able to play. This is innately part of being human. And without it, life loses its potency and you become inert. You become unable to create things of great power because it would mean leaving further behind that part of yourself. So you have met this part of yourself and you wish to reclaim it. There's something that you need to know. There is a way that these things remain suppressed. It's an instinctual thing. It's something that came to us in nature. If we suppress something, it's for good reason. It's usually linked with our survival. So what our body has done, our unconscious, the energetic self has done, is taken this instinct, this memory, this identity, this part of you that you are, and it layers it with this protective energy, which is called pain, emotional pain, or fear, or anger. There's an emotional cap on top of this part of yourself. And this is how it hides, because anytime the conscious mind reaches down and tries to touch it, there's a bit of pain, and the mind recoils. The conscious ego mind pulls back and says, nope, that hurts. I don't want to touch that. This is normal. This is something that you should have experience with at some point if you really reflect on it. And if you understand this, then now you're seeing how it works. Now you get it. Now you can start to actually push down in here without fear. Because if the emotion pain comes up, it'll come up deeper and deeper, and you'll feel more and more pain, more and more fear, more and more anger. That's a good thing, because what you're doing is you're draining away the cap that's protecting that part of you and making it lighter and making it more accessible. And eventually it's going to open. When it opens, you can remember for the first time in a long time exactly what it is that you rejected. You go, oh, that's how it started. That was when it first happened. I used to feel this. And you get unfamiliar feelings. And you get feelings that you haven't felt for many years. It's been sitting here, waiting for you to reclaim it. And now you've identified it. You can start to integrate it again, and you can start to express it. Every day, express it a little bit more, and a little bit more, and it becomes more and more solidified back into your conscious self. This is the integration process that makes you whole. When you're whole, you're powerful. Now, humanity often experiences at certain times of its history the rise and fall of dictators, war, strife, oppression. But it's like a wave of water in the ocean. It's rising up near the beach, it's swelling, it's roiling, it's crashing with a lot of force. But then it collapses into itself. It spills its momentum onto the sand, and then it retracts again, returning to stillness and calm waters, until another wave, of course, later comes to replace it. But all dictators die. All political movements eventually dissipate or collapse in on itself. And when it is forcing something of its own will onto the world that is not of the complete nature of the self, then it will collapse. The need for existence of good, of peace, of calm, of humanity, that can never be erased, it can never be destroyed, and it will inevitably rear itself again and be seen and be felt. This is much like your life. You can only be suppressed or held down for a while, because they say, as above, so below. Likewise, what you see in the world, you will see in yourself, and you will be acting out the same stage, the same play that history is acting out, because it's one and the same psychology. We are swept up by our own egos, the story of our lives. We decide what we must do, what we must be. We force it into the world. We decide this is the persona, this is the identity. I am now this, I will be this, I will do this, and you try and force it, just like the dictator tries to force his will upon society. You'll create your friend circles, you'll create your jobs, you'll create everything around this. But if it's not aligned with your authentic self, it will come crashing down at some point. And then we wonder, what can we make of our own hands that is not destroyed? We can only make that which is authentic of ourselves. So you can see why it's very, very important that the first step on the magic path is to line yourself up with authenticity. It's essential, in fact, because anything that you build from the authentic state, the real state, where you are in touch with all these parts that you've rejected and you have reclaimed them, now you're acting with power. Now you're creating something that cannot be destroyed, not by the world, not by yourself. Now, I didn't say it was going to be easy getting there. You will find these parts of you, but you will also feel the pain of it. Remember, accept and allow its return without denial, without suppression, and let yourself express it. You must be brave. You must be very bold. Now, as every day you express yourself a little bit more in that authentic way, that is the process of recompletion. You'll come to know that you are closer to complete when there's nothing else in your life that can fall apart. Now, life will shift, circumstances will change, but you're going to find yourself way less affected by it. You're going to be less affected because you're closer to your center and being in the authentic state, and you recognize that life shifts around you, and it's only reinforcing who and what you are. And things will stay more or less the same for you the person. Now, life becomes more of a dance in this place. It becomes more of a grounded celebration, and your true self will be dancing on the shifting soles of life. You're not reaching for identity anymore. You're not reaching for confirmation of who you are and what you are not. You're not looking for validation from anyone or anything. As you come into this point of power, when you're in this place, truly, you have been initiated into the world of magic. And what it's leading to is a kind of potency and manifestation, which is enormous. Because the authentic you, the real you, hiding behind the mask, behind the ego, is unlimited in its scope and its power. And knowing it is the biggest step on this journey. Well, thank you. That has been part 2, reclaiming the lost parts of ourselves. Thank you very much for watching. Remember, if you would like me to help you to run through this process, then contact me. My contact details are below in the video, and I look forward to hearing from you. Till next time, I'm Ryan Jackson Saw. This is Golden Pathway Shadow Coaching. Stay real.